Welcome back, students. We will continue with chapter 3, triangles, and moving on to the last section, inequalities in a triangle. We'll take a look at 3 theorems. There is nothing really that we are going to prove, but we are just going to demonstrate how the theorems work. So, theorem 7.6, it reads, if two sides of a triangle are unequal, then the angle opposite to the larger side is larger. So, first of all, we will see what this means. If I have a triangle ABC, if this side is, let's say, 5 units and this side is 7 units, what they mean to say is that this angle opposite the larger side is larger. So, what they mean is angle B is going to be greater than angle C. How are we going to do this? We will do this through an activity. Let's say you mark a thread on the board, or you just stick a thread on the board and fix it, and you call it BC. Now you will take a thread and you will tie a knot to a pencil. What you will do is you will keep increasing the size of the thread. First you will mark a point A. Then you will increase the size, you will increase the size of the pencil, the thread, and you will mark this point as A1. Then you will go ahead and mark this point as A2. Now you will connect all these points to B. So let's say I'll do this with colored chalks. Right, looks like a flag in the reverse order, green, white and orange, saffron, I'm sorry. So now I have my triangle. I have which triangles? I have ABC, I have A1BC and I have A2BC. You can keep going on until AN. Okay. So now let's see the sides that we make over here. We have A2C, we have A1C and you have AC. Correct? What can you say? That A2C is greater than A1C and A1C is greater than AC. So now measure the angles opposite these sides. So which is the angle opposite A2C? A2C is this, the angle is going to be A2BC. Similarly, angle opposite A1C is going to be A1BC. A1BC. Correct? And the angle opposite side AC is going to be what? ABC. If you notice, this angle is going to be greater, this angle is going to be greater. So what can we prove? We can prove the first theorem, the theorem 7.6, which states if two sides of a triangle are unequal, see the two sides of the triangle, they are unequal, then the angle of the opposite, to the larger side is larger. So the angle that is opposite to the larger side is larger. See, whichever side is greater, we have the angle opposite it to be greater. Let's move on to theorem 7.7. In any triangle, the side opposite to the larger side is longer. So let's do this. So the second one, in any triangle, the side opposite to the larger side is larger. First of all, for the theorem 7.6, we drew the diagram earlier of triangle ABC. So before proceeding to 7.7, just a small point that I'd like to make. If I have my triangle ABC, and suppose this is 5 units and this is 7 units, what does this mean? My angle B is going to be greater than angle C. Why? Because B is opposite the larger side. 5 is smaller, so angle C is going to be smaller than angle B. Right? Now let's move on to theorem 7.7. Now in any triangle, the side opposite to the larger angle is greater. The side opposite to the larger angle is longer. That means you've been given an angle which is large, you have to need that the side opposite it is large. So let's say I have my triangle. Let's say I draw an obtuse angle. I have, suppose, say, let's ABC be my required angle, my required triangle. Let's say this is my acute angle, this is my obtuse angle over here. So obviously we know that the acute angle is less than 90 degrees, and obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So my angle B, if you notice that the side that is opposite my obtuse angle, it is larger than the side opposite the acute angle. So you can take any kind of angles, even if you have two acute angles like this, correct, ABC. If you have 30 degrees, if you have 60 degrees, and let's say you have 40 degrees, then which side is going to be larger? AC is going to be greater than AB. Why? Because angle B is greater than angle C. So sides that are opposite the larger angle are larger. Now let's take a look at an activity. So what I will do is, again I am going to take line BC. Okay, I will take any point A over here and connect a thread to it from B to A, and I will mark this point as A. Now with B as my center and BA as my radius, I will draw an arc. Okay, so this is going to be my arc. I will take different points on this arc, A1, A2, A3. Okay, I will connect these points A, A1, A2 and A3 with B and C. So let's see. Let's say I am just taking until A, A1, A2. Now if you notice these angles over here, my angle A, A2, BC is greater than angle A1, BC, which is greater than angle ABC. Correct? What can you say about the sides opposite them? Now the side opposite A2, BC is what? A2C. The side opposite A1, BC is what? A1C. And the side opposite angle ABC is AC. What can you say about these sides? A2C is greater than A1C, which is greater than AC. Correct? So this theorem is proved. That is, in any triangle, the side opposite the larger angle is longer, which is similar to this. If suppose this is, let's say, 110 degrees and this is, let's say, 30 degrees, then AC, since angle ABC is greater than angle ACB, what can I say? That side AC is greater than side AB. That is, the side opposite the larger angle is greater than the side opposite the smaller angle. So this was your theorem 7.7. Now let's take a look at theorem 7.8. So my theorem 7.8 states that sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. What does this mean? If I have a triangle PQR and if I am taking, let's say, PQ, so I will say sum of any two sides of a triangle. So PQ plus QR is always going to be greater than PR. If, let's say, I take PQ over here, then QR plus PR is always going to be greater than PQ. That is, QR and PR is always going to be greater than PQ. And if I take another side, let's say QR over here, so PQ plus PR. So all these imply that the sum of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side. Now let's move on to solved example number 9 on page 131. I have been given that AD is equal to AC. I need to prove that side AB is greater than side AD. So how are we going to prove that? Let's see. We've been given that AD is equal to AC. Therefore, in triangle ADC, what can I say? That angle ACD is equal to angle ADC, because ADC is forming an isosceles triangle since AD is equal to AC. Therefore, I will say angle ACD is equal to angle ADC. Correct? And I'll mark this as 1. Also, now angle ADC is exterior angle of triangle ABD. Correct? Therefore, what can I say? Therefore, angle ADC is greater than angle ABC, because we have learned this before, that the exterior angle is always going to be greater than one of the opposite interior angles. So I am taking one of the opposite interior angles as ABC, and I will mark this as 2. So from 1 and 2, what can I say? See, I have ADC equal to ACD and ADC is greater than ABC. Therefore, what can I say? Therefore, angle ACD is greater than angle ABC. Correct? But instead of writing ACD, I can write ACB. Correct? Just extending D to B. Therefore, angle ACB is greater than angle ABC. Therefore, what is my side opposite ACB? My side opposite ACB is AB, and side opposite ACB is AB, and side opposite ACB is AB, and side opposite ABC is AC. Correct? So AB is greater than AC. But what have we been given? That AD is equal to AC. So I'll say but AD is equal to AC. Correct? Therefore, what can I say? Let's mark this statement as 3 and mark this statement as 4. What can I say? That AB is greater than AD, and I'll say from 3 and 4. So this is what was required. So with this, we wind up with the solved examples before starting exercise 7.4 of your textbooks. We'll take a look at that in the next class. Thank you.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.